there's plenty happening on the undercard with our Saturday racing out of New Zealand. Riccarton Park and also Te Rapa. Jason Tarn and Aidan Rodley have kindly joined me as we build through some of those races. And we're going to kick off with the Christchurch Casino Premier rating 85 over 2,000 metres out of the park tomorrow. We're expecting dead fall conditions at this stage, but it may go to a good 3. Flag the Groom $4.50, Call Me Royal $4 and Eva Jensen $2.70. What's your reaction to this, Jason?
Well, Eva Jensen was pretty unlucky last start, the flashing red light that said to back me next time, but look, she's in a race where I think she's up against a couple of very strong chances that map well too. Call Me Royal and Flag the Groom.
She was really good 2 starts back as well in that stakes race at Rotorua. So, you know, she's got a lot of upside. There's no two ways about it. But at 270, she might be on the skinny side for mine. Let's have a look at the speed. King's Powell likely to roll along with Flag the Groom getting up there as well and Call Me Royal, the only other real pace influence in the race. I've got Eva Jensen getting back along with the other 3 as well.
OK, Jason, let's take a look at Eva Jensen's run last at time to the races. This was when running into second. She makes up a bit of ground and she has the aid of having seen Riccarton in the past.
You made a bit of money off this race, Matthew, with Strolling Vagabond, and it was a beautiful Jonathan Parks ride to seize the initiative during the race when the pace went out of it. That didn't advantage Eva Jensen. She got clear late, as you can see, and she charges past Gorbachev, who did a bit of work in the run. It was an excellent performance.
She's going really well. She's really going well, this horse, and you know, I thought the riding was on the wall with her from that Rotorua race, which was a top-class performance in a good field as well.
The horse that she beat home, I think, or was finished around, was Maygrove, who went out and won the field.
Well, Maygrove really didn't get a crack at them in that race.
Sure, but just to give you a line on horses that she was finishing around, there's no Maygroves here.
Irish Caller's horse who has a very good record at Riccarton Park and second up. Samantha Wynn will take the ride aboard him in race number 2, the son of Civics. Teresa Mitchell will be looking to go race to race. $3.40 though. Shadow King is the favourite ahead of Irish Call. Then we get out to $5.50 Sanazar, whom Jason, pretty smart horse on his day, Sanazar.
And has run well at this carnival before. I think Irish Call, Sanazar and No Emotion, not at the carnival in the South Island, have also met and finished within a length of each other, so there are a few weight swings against them. Obviously a lot of time between that race and the race tomorrow, but Aidan, you've got Shadow King and Irish Call sitting right in the van there.
Yeah, I do. You were keen on seeing Sanazar on speed as well. I've got the horse mapped to just sit off the speed with the likes of Lochinor and Shoot to Kill giving a trail there as well. So, but you thought that Sanazar was a possible lead in a race?
I thought the 3 of them would potentially fight for the lead, and it wouldn't surprise me if Shadow King was eased into a trailing spot by Rosie Mice. Conversely, if Sanazar doesn't go forward, then yeah, that leads there.
Still a moderately speed run race. Yeah. I think in either scenario, Shadow King's been really good in the last couple. The Trentham performance last time out behind Jessie G under 59 was good, and now drops to 54. I've got a lot of time for this horse, and yeah, Shadow King is a bank bet for me this weekend. I thought just poised and has that Kevin Myers factor about it as well.
One thing I didn't mention about one of Teresa Mitchell's horses, Call Me Royal, in the previous, I thought Call Me Royal could actually give Eva Jensen a good fight. And Irish Call and Shoot to Kill, I think, can fight this race out. Irish Call second up very much interests me, but Shoot to Kill is going to be third up, and I think there's merit in both of his last 2 starts. Steps up to 1,600 metres for the first time. All of his wins have come over 1,400 metres, but I do sense that 1,600 metres at this stage of the son of Per and Canto's career is a good thing. Star Voya returns to the ranks, fresh up for John and Karen Parsons and Chris Johnson in race number 4 at Riccarton Park. And we know the job that she did as a 3-year-old, Aidan.
Yeah, sure do. She was very, very good. High-class filly's only been twice out of the money. Fresh up this time around with Chris Johnson doing the riding, but from barrier 1. Looks to be positive, and I've got it in the trail with a little bit of speed in the race. Interesting, no rider still on Bisu, which might give us a lead that it's not running there.
It'll run in race 6 with Sarah McNabb. You'd think, on the face of the fact that she's booked a ride in race 6 and nothing.
I think Crazy's in one of those races as well too, isn't it?
Plenty of speedy ones here.
Yeah, there sure is, but this is obviously going to have a couple, if they come out, Are You Crazy, who was potentially a speed influence in the race.
Yeah, probably go to the Pegasus, Are You Crazy, by the looks of that as well.
Yeah, it does. Barrow was likely to get forward as well with Nick Yama, who is, I think, first, it needs to improve on that Riccarton run, but was certainly
Good
ridden
track
on
too.
speed that day as well.
Yeah, good track probably won't help it too much either. Margarita Mover finished into 4th. Jason Tan, this is the exact same pathway as what Terry Ray took last year when she actually won this race.
And I think that she's just at that level where she's going to be peaking, as you speak of, Matthew. Jason Waddell rode last start behind Carnival, and you just think that now, with Alicia Collard up from that draw, she's not going to be too far off them. If it's not run that hard, it's probably okay for her, because she has got a decent enough turn of foot. I don't know that there's an abundance of speed in the race, but she's one of the better betting propositions, and there's no reason why Barabbas can't step forward from that last start effort. Where
You
he
were
did
keen
the
on
job.
Barabbas last time. Do you think what's the go this time?
It is an up in class. Jason Waddell rode Barabbas brilliantly to win last time. He actually picked up a suspension for doing that, but he returns to ride it again on Saturday. So I've got him definitely in the top 2, but Margarita Mover on top. What do you make of Stavoya? She's got that class right, but where do you sort of peg her?
Oh, I think she'll be ready to fire here. She's too good not to be competitive in a race like this. So yeah, I've got her as my second pick in the race and behind Barabbas.
Let's turn the page over to another really good race on the card, featuring last start winner King Kane. He put them to bed easily last time to the race is $4, the price around him. Pinsrad should get a good run, $5.50. We see Basu at $6.50 and Residential out to $8.50. Certainly backable at that price. Speed here, Aidan?
Well, there's just absolutely no speed in this race whatsoever. And $9.50 about Zarwhip, I hadn't noticed that price. I thought OP Boston had a great chance to control this from the speed. Pinsrad's another factor in the race. Could you see any speed in this race at all?
No, not an abundance of speed. There's not much speed in the race at all.
And the concern with that is that none of them are used to leading as well. So who does get to the front? Yes, you might be able to get a controlling sort of position from the front, but just it will be unaccustomed territory, which might be the concern. I found it a difficult speed map.
Could they press forward with Residential third up?
Well, potentially. I think there's a possibility. If any rider wants to be positive, they'll get this. They'll get the.
But on the face of that, I think you make a good point. Zarwhip and Pinsrad potentially get great runs in the race. So Pinsrad, is that the one that you want to be on?
Oh, well, I think between the two of them, the Zarwhip's going pretty well too. There's no two ways about that. Pinsrad's equally in good form as well.
How easy was this King Kane win on Sunday?
Nice. Yeah, really nice.
Once he hit top gear, he just played with them really. King Kane, we see Cantalina and Zarkinthos, so it's not a bad sort of a field that he's beaten there either.
And as like before that, he was not far behind Sensei. So he's building into his preparation nicely.
Yeah, the way he runs like a stayer. I see they did try him over middle distances last prep as well. Just the way it looks like a stayer.
He's going to want speed, and he may not get that. That's the thing against him. But here's Zarwhip, Admiral Rue, and Residential. What do you make of Residential here?
Yeah, Residential might have been just a touch below herself. It keeps on hitting
She's got
the
a bit to make up, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. But we saw last preparation just how good she is. I'd never rule her out of a race like this. I thought Zarwhip was
3
pretty
kilo,
good in that.
4 kilo claiming apprentice on board.
Yeah.
No disrespect to him, goes into Jagu, gets on better than anyone with him.
Well, that's the thing about Admiral Rue in this race. It comes in 3.5 kilograms better than Zarwhip from that last start as well. So that's Admiral Rue's advantage into this.
This was a
as
win.
well. Yeah, here's a horse who's going really well. The win at Hastings on the first day was terrific and on the up. And we know one thing about Bill Thurlow's horses. He travels into Riccarton.
Does a good track concern you?
Maybe a touch, but I think this horse has got a touch of class about him.
And the fact that it's likely to get back in the running with not a lot of pace,
yeah.
Does that put you off?
Another thing, definitely. Any horse who's going to get back in this race has got to be a concern. But yeah, she's won 2 of 3 and in good fields as well.
It was this time last year that she put her, I suppose, put her hand up. She doesn't have hands, but she signalled that she's a pretty good horse when she ran second during the carnival on the track. So she's had that trip away. She's got that experience. And that was on a dead 4 track. So Yeah, she's going to be right there, but again, her pattern is that she's going to be settling off them, so tempo is going to be a factor for her for sure.
Race number 7 at Te Rapa is a race with a lot of depth. Let's look at the market for the Distinction Hamilton Hotel, over 1,200 metres. The unbeaten Ricky Baker, $8, $3.40 for Iron Poppy, and then some pretty good odds around the likes of Elusive Treasure and Nothing Left to Lose. Let's have a look at Iron Poppy's win at Te Rapa on the 24th of October here, Aidan. This on a good 3 track and a horse fresh up that is likely to run a cracker.
Yeah, we saw a horse who showed real ability last preparation. She's high class, and yep, she hasn't raced for a long time. That's got to be some sort of concern with her, but yeah, on ability, she looks as though she might have something on these, and you know, Warren Bolton, he wouldn't be sending her to the races without having her ready to go. So it's not going to cost her anything if she's heading towards a railway that's set weights and penalties. You just think that she's going to be ready to go, and I've got a few concerns. She gets into a lovely spot in the map for mine. I've got her mapped in the 1-1, so I think she's very hard to bowl.
I reckon fresh up she might lead.
She might lead?
Iron Poppy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think fresh up from that draw, I'd say that you'd want to be positive and potentially lead Joe
Okay.
Parks. 383 days between runs, I suppose that is the question. But
Well, that's where I was thinking they might want a softer sort of tripper thing.
maybe, but I just assume that you just want to roll and dominate the race.
Okay.
You know, if you're good enough to be at the races, then you're good enough to tactically sort of lead, I would want to think. Elusive Treasure, like, been in very good form, and Trudy Thornton has gone bang bang on him.
Big margin back to third.
Yes, very much. And you like the look of Orphe as a horse as well.
Yeah.
So they've drawn well clear. I think that's significant.
Magic of the Sun is a horse who can get forward. It draws out quite wide here, Jason, and sticks on okay this day when it had to race wide from about the 800 metres. What did you make of the other runs in here? Anything stand out?
I thought Magic of the Sun was a very good run. Ichiban was fair. Princess Kidadu didn't have all favours, so...
It was not ridden out anywhere near. So
Yeah.
that's a forgive run for mine, because she's a very good horse, Princess Kidadu.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice race.
Yeah, it sure is. Magic of the Sun had the previous start beaten home Bella Joya as well, so there's a form line through there, and she's coming in nicely at the weight. So she's impressed me, Magic of the Sun.
The horse that I didn't pull a video out for is That's For Sure. She comes out of one of Deals and Heels wins at Hastings. And I really like the run.
Yeah, I like it too.
And she's second up. She's at a really good price. The issue that she has is she's drawn off the track. Maybe by race 7, now when the rail's been out 8 metres, history says that coming off the rail hasn't been bad. It just depends on the weather a little bit as well on the day. If it rains, definitely off the rail will be okay. But Heidi Mizuki comes in with that 3 kilo claim, and that really enhances her chances to me. So you're getting $8, that's worth a spec, even though I rate highly Iron Poppy, and I know the reputation they have. They think she's Group 1 sprinting quality.
I've seen that from her performances too. She does look like something pretty special.
Another horse we saw out of that run that we just watched is Legramore, who heads around in the BCD Group 1400. This at 20 minutes to 5 on Saturday. $3.80 here, Aidan. Legramore, a horse that I know that you've got a stack of time for.
Yeah, I do. I think she's smart. That draw really concerns me. Barrier 19, yeah, that's my big concern with her. But I think she's smart. I think she's really handy. I've got a share in one of this. Yeah, I'm on Aotearoa.
I thought you announced her retirement.
Yep, and then she got out to the Canberra Stud where she was served. They treated a few issues and back into work. So
Sir Patrick and Sir Aidan.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I think I'm on TV till about 4.
What are you, the Duke
Then
of
I'll be
Cambridge?
ducking down for my free beer before the race.
Yeah, Ken Rutherford loves you. He loves those big syndicates. Everyone has point. I mean, it's great for racing. It is great for
It
racing.
sure is.
I know it's a very tricky thing to manage for these racing
Speaking
clubs.
of, this was Swift Fantasy-like, wasn't it?
Yeah, not chasing the lure and then really charging like Sarah Banday, probably down the best part of the track.
The
No
writing was on
chance.
the wall with the previous start because it
No
really
chance.
got home.
No chance. Could win. Are you going to win?
still in front. Sarah Banday lunged in.
I think you won. Yes. I mean, sorry to run through my thinking. When I was watching no one wants an insight into what's in my head. So apologies for exposing you to that. But Chassis Power is the horse that I think has a lot of upside.
Can you take us through his last run and through your head as well?
No, I can't, because I think he was thinking, oh, that really hurts. I'm going to put on an act. That was in the Derby when I think his saddle slipped and pinched and it was a nightmare. Connections came from Hong Kong to watch it. It was just unlucky. But I think he's well above average, Chassis Bao. I think he'll present well to run a good race fresh up from a really good barrier. You talked about Legramore and the barrier draw. Last start, would you say the barrier probably cost her a chance?
I'm sure it cost her, and in the end it cost Leith in a suspension, because he's back there on a horse who's absolutely trucking. He just had to get out into clear air, and he's cut off Perfect Harmony by doing that, but it was still a massive run. So, but I've got to say, I think a horse with a hell of a lot of ability.
I just got a text from my doctor. My prescription's ready to pick up. So.
Good, yeah, good. Speaking of saddle slipping, did you see Fanatic at Flemington? The saddle was just about right back round the flank when winning, so good to see the Kiwis doing the job over there.
Great, yeah, and especially Sean Kiernan's son Jack was over there, and he had Geordie Barrett with him as well. Yeah, so we got a few celebs on the broadcast.
Dropping. Yeah, name dropping. I'll name drop and say he's been Jason Tarn, and he's been Aidan Rodley, and I've been Matt Cross, and this has been the First Call Plus. Good luck with the punt over the weekend.